But first, we begin with some breaking news on a story that we have been covering all week. The anti-homosexuality bill of 2009. It calls for a sentence of life in prison and even potentially execution for being gay. This law is being considered in the nation of Uganda. This bill has been big news in the United States because of its many connections to conservative American politicians and activists. Politicians like Iowa Republican Senator Chuck Grassley, who is reported to be a member of the secretive religious organization known as the Family, a family famous for operating the C Street House in Washington and known for being proudly interventionist in religion and politics in Uganda. Earlier this week, the largest gay rights group in the state of Iowa issued a petition calling on Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley to denounce the legislation, specifically because of his ties to the family. Senator Grassley did not. He said he was busy, and he said, besides, he doesn't know anything about this bill. He also denied having anything to do with the family. But about an hour ago, the senator reversed his position on the bill. This statement was just sent over from the senator's office. Quote, "My commitment to traditional values, including how marriage is defined and respect for life, holds true in the United States and around the world. After being asked about legislation being considered in the Ugandan parliament, I contacted the U.S. State Department to get information. I did not have any knowledge about the proposal from any source beyond the news reporters who asked about it and the few constituents who contacted me. Based on what I've been able to learn about the legislation and from the standpoint that I'm a born-again Christian, I can tell you that I don't agree with this unchristian and unjust proposal, and I hope the Ugandan officials dismiss it." Which brings us to a teachable moment in how to do more than hope on this issue, brought to you by Senator Russ Feingold. Now, as we have been reporting, the Kill the Gays bill, now pending in Uganda, has many connections to conservative politicians and anti-gay activists in the U.S. Wisconsin Democratic Senator Russ Feingold is not one of those people. He's way not one of those people. He has never been accused of having ties to the family of C Street and meddling in Ugandan politics fame, nor has he ever been accused of having ties to Pastor Rick Warren's Ugandan affairs or to the sad ex-gay quackery industry that has sold Ugandan politicians on the idea that gay people don't really have to be gay if they don't want to be. Senator Feingold has nothing to do with any of those things. Still, unprompted, he released this statement on the subject today. Quote, "I share the outrage of many political, religious, and civic leaders in Uganda and around the world about the anti-homosexuality bill before the Ugandan parliament. If enacted, this inhumane bill would sanction new levels of violence against people in Uganda based solely on their gender or sexual orientation. Its passage would hurt the close working relationship between our two countries, especially in the fight against HIV and AIDS. Over the last month, I've conveyed these concerns to the State Department and directly to President Museveni, and I urge Uganda's leaders to reject this bill." Wow. Other American politicians who are actually caught up in this human rights disaster might want to take notes here. Number one, Senator Feingold doesn't seem to have encouraged this other country's extremism in the first place. Number two, he subtly reminds Uganda in his statement that they get a ton of money from us, and them killing their gay citizens might put some of that close working relationship they have with us at risk. And most importantly, Senator Feingold says he has conveyed his concerns to the president of Uganda, not just, say, to the Rachel Maddow show. Senator Coburn, just saying. The name of the man you need to talk to is President Museveni. I know you have his number. If you really do feel strongly about this, tell him. He's the one who can actually do something about it. Don't just tell me, okay? Okay.